On the surface, it seemed as if the films premiering at the Cannes Film Festival this year were receiving mixed responses at best, but if you dig beneath the initial reactions, there is plenty to love, with many films garnering acclaim even among the divided responses on the ground. With 22 films in competition on the 2025 Cannes lineup, and dozens more playing in the various sidebars, cinema's biggest event of the year laid the foundation for many major releases to come. It also gave us an early look at who could be in contention this award season and for the 2026 Oscars next March. Though that's not always the case, in recent years, films that have debuted at Cannes have proven to have enormous staying power, going from the Croisette all the way to Hollywood's biggest night. Before all of that, though, a group of, mostly, amazing films premiered. From breathtakingly tender dramas to high-octane action and shockingly explosive thrillers, Cannes once again proved it is the home of a vast array of groundbreaking cinematic achievements. Now, we rank every movie we saw at the 2025 Cannes Film Festival, from the opening night film to some of the biggest premieres and the best hidden gems. 23. Leave One Day. A poppy French musical. Leave One Day Still. The French musical, which was the opening night film of this year's edition, features poppy songs and a touching if familiar story ripe for emotion, even if it never truly digs deep. Leave One Day follows a famous chef, known for appearances on Top Chef, about to open her first restaurant when she must return to the village she grew up in to take care of her father. There, she reunites with an old flame that brings to the surface long-dormant feelings. While fun, the film itself doesn't expand on the musical genre in a way that feels fully satisfying, instead opting to play its low-key story and musical numbers straight. It features a solid lead performance from Juliette Armanet and a few of the songs are quite catchy, but it fails to leave much of an impression beyond that Sons of the Neon Night. A crime epic that loses the plot. A cop stands against a van holding a gun in Sons of the Neon Night. This ambitious action crime movie is director Juno Mac's second feature. It's a visually stunning film set in a dystopic, lawless version of Hong Kong where violence runs rampant. On a cinematic level, there's much to love. Mac's version of Hong Kong feels otherworldly, as if it exists outside of time. Blood and bullets rain down on the city in some exhilarating action sequences. Unfortunately, all of this is undercut by choppy pacing and an almost incomprehensible plot that follows two brothers wrestling for control of their dead father's pharmaceutical empire. Caught in the middle is an expansive cast of dirty cops and street-level gangsters, but with such a sweeping view of this conflict, Sons of the Neon Night loses its handle on the proceedings. The Phoenician Scheme. Wes Anderson's latest is underwhelming. The Phoenician Scheme with Michael Cera and Mia Threapolitan. In typical Wes Anderson fashion, The Phoenician Scheme includes an ensemble of stars, his trademark humor, and a stunning visual palette. There's also a standout central performance from relative newcomer Mia Threapolitan, who plays Liesl, the daughter of a business tycoon, Benicio del Toro, constantly under threat of assassination. Anderson seemed to reach a new emotional high with Asteroid City, so expectations were similarly lofty for this next film. Unfortunately, The Phoenician Scheme is more style than substance, its sprawling story leaving little room for the relationship between Del Toro and Threapolitan's characters to really soar. The film's plot proves unwieldy and distracting and, though Anderson has previously shown he can balance his showy style with affecting storytelling, The Phoenician Scheme finds the director caught between his instincts. Read our review of The Phoenician Scheme. 20. Nouvelle Vague. Zoe Deutsch twirls in front of a fountain in Nouvelle Vague. Richard Linklater, of Dazed and Confused and Hitman fame, crafts a love letter to the French New Wave with his latest film, which tracks the conception and making of Jean-Luc Godard's iconic film Breathless. In what is essentially a hangout movie, Linklater captures all the snark, love for cinema, and avant-garde techniques emblematic of one of cinema's most influential movements. Linklater recasts the cast, crew, and various other new wave figures for Nouvelle Vague, with the main trio of the film, Guillaume Marbec, Jean-Luc Godard, Zoe Deutsch, Jean Seberg, and Aubrey Dullin, Jean-Paul Belmondo, uncanny in their recreations of these figures. It's an endlessly charming film, with Marbec in particular quite the match for Godard. We never see him without his trademark sunglasses, even in the midst of the most chaotic days on set. At its most effective, Nouvelle Vague captures what it must have been like to be on set during the filming of Breathless, and though it feels abbreviated in its look at such a long-lasting movement, it's still an enchanting film.